Hello, Greek 1 students. Um, we continue with this lesson to add to your knowledge, and I hope that you have done your homework from last week. That was homework 8A, and this will be homework 8B. We're going to add chapter 7 to our knowledge in this video. And I will also put a couple of videos from Dr. Campbell on Moodle so that you can get this information from 2 teachers. I have to warn you that grammarians, Greek teachers, when they write textbooks especially, use different terms sometimes for the same thing, or they use terms differently. And that will be the case a little bit here, but I think that you are very smart and you can understand when one teacher uses a term in a certain way and another teacher uses it in another way. I'm talking especially about the words noun and adjective and the word attributive, which we will meet in just a moment. Let us go to the textbook and look at, I'm going to share the screen. Just a moment. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing my, you're seeing what I didn't intend. Okay, you're seeing this view, and I'm going to have to find a way to, there we are, to share my screen. And we're going to look at Kindle version of your textbook. And I'm in the wrong chapter, so let me go there. Chapter 7, adjectives of the first and second declension. The word adjective, you might pronounce it adjective. I've heard that pronunciation, but Americans usually say adjective. Adjectives qualify nouns and have the end result of giving greater precision of expression. For example, the noun men names all male humans above a certain age. Adding the adjective good to men, good men, names only those male humans who are of a certain age and who are also good, a more precise naming. Of course, we need to define what we mean by good in relation to what, but it does define the word more. In a similar fashion, evil men, dead men, faithful men, and righteous men are all more specific than just the noun men. Greek adjectives do not usually provide a difficulty in translation. Indeed, they are often used rather like they are in English. For example, in Greek, the good man would be ho agathos anthropos. You see the article ho, and you see the word anthropos. And in our vocabulary, in just a moment, we're going to see lists of words. And the word for good is agathos, agathe, agathon. and why these two additional endings, you'll understand in just a moment. But the word agathos is good, means good, and agathos anthropos, the good men. What we need to notice and what is essential that we understand is that the Greek adjectives must agree, we say agree, in form and ending with the word that they modify. So, for example, anthropos is the nominative singular, the subject usually of a sentence, ha anthropos. So if I use the nominative singular of anthropos, I use the nominative singular of agathos, the good men. The plural would be, because the plural is hoi anthropoi, remember the nominative plural if it's the subject, and the plural would of good men, the good men, hoi agathoi anthropoi. Suppose we have the word work, ergon. In order to put the adjective the good work, we have to write ta agathon ergon. Why? Because ergon ends in omicron, nu. It's a neuter word. In the nominative case, singular. So we use the neuter article ta and the neuter ending agathon. And the good works would be ta agatha erga. Why? Because erga is the nominative plural of ergon. So work and works. And the adjective must always agree in ending with the word that it modifies. So what happens is then that we will have three forms or three groups of forms for adjectives. We will have a masculine, we will have feminine forms and neuter forms. Why? Because we have masculine nouns, feminine nouns, and neuter nouns. Last week we learned three different groups of feminine nouns. So now we have nouns that are masculine, feminine, and neuter. And the adjective must agree with the noun that it modifies, we say. It must agree in form. So if the word is, for example, in the accusative singular, well, here's a mistake. This should be agathon. Something has slipped. I think it's just slipped down. Here, agathon is the accusative singular. Good. So if I say I loose, luo, I loose, or I am loosing the good man, then I have to say luo, ton, agathon, anthropon, because I have to use the accusative because it's the direct object. I am loosing someone. And that someone I am loosing, and it has to have a direct object. So then I say ton, agathon, anthropon, and so on. Just notice, please, that these lists have slipped down. These forms should go here and here and here and here, and the same on the rest of the cross. The other thing we need to know is that Greek has two ways of using the adjective. The one discussed so far resembles English usage. The other way is slightly different. And so we have to learn the second way. The good man is often written ho agathos anthropos, but it can also be written ho anthropos ho agathos. In practice, this does not make translation from Greek to English difficult. Furthermore, when translating from English to Greek, the English word order can be used as this is correct Greek. So, for example, if you have ho anthropos, ho agathos, we simply translate the good man in English. We don't say the man. We don't express it as they do in Greek or can in Greek. We express it in English the way we have to translate into good English. So we don't say the man, we say the good man. What the other thing we need to notice is that in the feminine forms, we have alpha pure adjectives, just like we had alpha pure nouns. So if the stem of an adjective, for example, hagios, holy, 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 holy is the Lord God of hosts, hagios. But if it's a holy, we're speaking of a woman or a feminine object and it's holy, you have to use hagia. For example, the holy woman would be he hagia gune, because gune is the word for woman. But hagia is an alpha pure adjective, so it can only be hagia. And gune, word for woman, can only end in eta, because it's an eta noun. You remember we had in chapter 6 eta feminine nouns and alpha feminine nouns like doxa, but also alpha pure, old MacDonald, E-I-E-I-ro. Stem ends in epsilon, iota, or rho, then it's alpha pure, and in the singular, we only have alpha. With doxa, for example, we have doxes instead of doxas in the genitive singular, and the dative singular is doxe, but not with the alpha pure nouns. And so the alpha pure adjectives that have this stem must also have this form. That sounds complicated, but it's not actually when you start to do the sentences. Now, you need to learn the vocabulary at the end of chapter 7. Remember, we only have one class a week. And normally you would be on campus, and normally we would have 3 one-hour classes per week, but we are only having one class a week. And that's why you have extra work, extra homework, and extra videos that you must watch. I am also giving you, as we had before, segments from Dr. Campbell. So you get the information from 2 different teachers. Now, this is our textbook, and you must know these words from vocabulary 7. Agathos, agapetos. Notice that the word agape, love, is here, but we have an additional part to this word, agapetos, agapete, agapeton, beloved. So the beloved man, ho agapetos anthropos. But the beloved sister, let's use sister, Adolphe. Remember, the brother is Adolphos, and sister is Adolphe. And if we take Adolphe and say the beloved woman, the beloved sister, then we have he, not ha, because the feminine article is hey. Hey, agapete, aralfe. Understand? Hey, agapete. We have this ending here instead of this one. Agapete, aralfe, the beloved sister. Or in Greek, we can also write, they also wrote, hey, agapete, hey, aralfe. As we said before, there are two ways of writing the article both times with the noun and with the adjective. Hey, agapa, hey, or we could write hey, aralfe, instead of anthropos, aralfe, sister. Hey, um, agapete. I'm using the adjective beloved, agapete, with sister, aralfe. So you will need to learn these vocabulary words. And there's one more thing that you need to be careful about, and that is that we do have a few adjectives where the masculine form and the feminine form are the same. Ionios eternal can be both both masculine and feminine. So, for example, the eternal love, agape, agape. We know the word for love, agape. The eternal love would be he ionios agape, or he ionios, he agape. You'd say, well, wait a minute, you have he and ionios. That looks like a masculine ending. Remember, but you have to remember, in this case, ionios is for the masculine and the feminine. So it does not change to ionie. It remains ionios. There is a neuter form, so we need to remember the neuter endings, but we need to do that for all of these. Now, that's the reason that when we have vocabulary words from now on in the list, when there's an adjective, there will always be agathos, agathe, agathon, or hagios, hagia, hagion, because they'll want to show you that this is an alpha pure adjective, and it can have endings that are masculine, feminine, or neuter. And he has a note here, as is indicated, ionios has no separate feminine forms. And it's the only one that occurs more than 50 times in the Greek New Testament, and that's why we are learning it. It's the only one right now that we're learning. Now, in your homework, what I'm going to do in your homework is I'm going to give you a written assignment as usual. And we're going to look at it, the homework, just now. So I'm going to share that screen with you just briefly. Let's see, make sure I get the right homework because I have homework. Yes, here we are. Okay, I'm sharing my screen for the present. Now the homework will look like this. First of all, we always do review. So this is homework this is for next week, and that week is called 8B. I called it 8B because I'm trying to line the numbers up for the weeks. And so instead of the next class, the next week being 9, it's going to be 8B. So we have 8A the first week after break, and now we will have 8B. And the goals are always at the top of our homework, reviewing chapters 1 to 6 in vocabulary, completing adjectives, chapter 7, and also I should have written, and learning vocabulary 7. The first part is E6. That stands for exercise 6. So that means that you go to your textbook and you go back to chapter 6 and you have some work to do here in section B. I think that we did through verse 17, and now I'm giving you more sentences to review these words, like, so that especially you learn vocabulary that we've had before from chapter 5, martureo, the epsilon omega verbs, and the new nouns, the feminine nouns, he ecclesia, church or assembly. The church of God is doing the works of God. That's what this sentence says. He ecclesia tou theou, the church of God, not of the God, simply the church of God is doing or does, either one is correct, the simple present or the progressive present, does or is doing the works of God. The Greek present tense tends to mean progressive, action that is happening. And that is why I like the progressive tense, the progressive English in translating, but either one is correct because the textbook author also uses the simple present, does, poieo. So finish these sentences. Last time you already had the English to Greek, and those will be corrected for you on your homework. But now, again, we are learning the adjectives for the first and second declensions. We have first declension are feminine nouns, second declension are masculine and neuter nouns. Now, let's look at some homework, which will be from the exercises. So let me share that page with you again. Okay. I'm not going to annotate right now. May try to see if I can write. I'm not sure if I can. Text. So, okay, this is homework assignment 8B, and I'm going to go down. Need to X that out. I'm going to go down now, and you're going to be asked to fill in the following table with the forms of the adjectives and to include the article. Now, when you include the article, you're actually creating a noun. And that's another thing that happens in Greek. I'm going to enter some text. So for example, right here, I want to put the, oh, it's interesting how this works. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. The nominative singular of dikaios, righteous, is ha dikaios, and that would mean the righteous one or the righteous man because it's masculine. If I just have ha dikaios, I actually have created a noun because I am using the adjective as a noun, the righteous one. I can translate the righteous one, or I can translate the righteous man. If I need the accusative singular, then I will write ton. Oh, I've forgotten that this doesn't write, well, let me see. Yeah, I can't write breathing marks or accents, so I'm just going to have to write ton, dic, ion. I could say theoro. You know the verb theoreo? You've learned it in the epsilon omega verbs in chapter 5. I see, or I observe. Theoreo, I see the righteous one, or in parentheses, the righteous man. But we need to leave it as the righteous one so we don't get confused right now. Ton dikaion would mean the righteous one. If I write teen dikaion, because dik-I-A is an alpha pure adjective. So it will not be dik-I-ain, it will be on, but the article remains the same. It and will not change only, so the article is not alpha pure, is what I'm saying, but the adjective is alpha pure. I see the righteous one, feminine, or perhaps I mean, I see the righteous lady. But for right now, let's just say that the article with the adjective means the one. Or if I have the neuter, then it would be a righteous thing. And the accusative would be the same as the nominative. Remember that the accusative singular is the same as and the accusative plural is the same as the nominative in the neuter forms. So, but the only thing that is showing me that it's neuter is the article to, dik, ion. When you do the word good or beautiful, which there's another word, first we have ha, and I can't write the breathing marks, I'm sorry. Ha, kalos, he, kale, and the neuter form is going to be ta, kalon. So this would be the good one, masculine, the good one, feminine, the good thing, neuter. And Greek can use an adjective as a noun, so it's time, we need to get used to it already. So I'm asking you not only to write the adjective, I'm asking you to write the article forms with it. And the accusative, the genitive, let's say the genitive singular and masculine is tu, dik, I, u, and tes, dik, I, as. And if we go on and put the neuter, the genitive singular neuter, we have tu, dik, I, u again, because the masculine genitive and dative are the same as the neuter form, genitive and dative forms. So you need to go down this table and write all the words. I'm going to have to stop sharing this table and come back to it. Otherwise, I have all that. Now, you need to do part B of chapter 7, the exercises. E stands for exercise, remember? Let me get my spotlight. E stands for exercise. 7 is the chapter. So exercise 7, part B, numbers 1 to 21. You do not need to write the Greek sentence unless you just want to. Now, instead of, I'm going to write some text here. We're going to do the first one of these in our textbook. And the textbook, let's see, I'm going to have to stop sharing and come back here. The textbook, the first one, let's go down the page. Let's not do the first one. Let's do something more difficult. Let's do agathoi, anthropoi, legosin, ou, ponerus, logos. I hope I can remember that. Again, you might want to write it down. Number 40, agathoi, anthropoi, legosin, ou, ponerus, logos. Okay, now I need to know my vocabulary. My new vocabulary tells me poneros, ponera, poneron means evil or wicked. And number 40 also has the word agathos. So I have two adjectives. I have agathos and I have poneros. So I'm going to take that sentence now and I'm going to share the screen. And we're going to go back here to our homework. And I don't think we have go down to number 40, no. So I'm going to do number 40, all right? So let's put in some text here and let's assume this is number 40. I don't like that color. Wonder if I can change, how do I change the color? Oh, here. Use a dark red. All right. Number 40. And let's see if I can remember what it was because I've still writing in Greek. Yeah. Ha, agathos. Remember, I can't write any accents or breathing marks. You need to write breathing marks, a rough breathing mark, ha, and a smooth breathing mark, agathos. Anthropos. The good man. And now I've already forgotten. Let me see if I have a copy of the textbook here. Oh, I do. That's very helpful. All right. Sorry, I just knocked something over. I had to pick it up. I'm going to turn in my textbook here, so because I've already forgotten, I can't remember. Number 40. And it was agathoi, anthropoi, legosin. So I've already made a mistake. So let's go back and correct it. Agathoi, anthropoi, legosin. And the rest of the sentence is ou ponerus logos. Ou ponerus logos. Now, I want to translate this into good English. Doesn't matter. I tried it I try to change it into another color, but it changes everything. Okay, so how do I translate this into good English? That's your job with your homework. And I have here good men. I don't put the good men because there's no article here. I'll just put good men, and I'm going to use the progressive present, are speaking. Did you notice that we have here legusin? We have the third person plural, which goes with the plural of men. Good men are speaking. Oh, I forgot something. There's that little word "u," which means not. They are not speaking evil words. Very simple. Good men are not speaking "u," not speaking ponerus lagus, evil words. Ponerus lagus is in the accusative case, accusative plural, because it's the direct object of it tells us what they're speaking or what they're not speaking, because we have the word "u." They are not speaking evil words. So I hope that you can take those um, take these thoughts, and they will be of help to you. And as you read chapter 7, and as you learn, you need to remember, you need to memorize, memorize, memorize. At this point in our course, we have to do a lot of memory. We have to remember vocabulary words, and we have to learn the forms. But as we learn this basic work later, it will help us. We'll begin to read the Greek New Testament in the language it was written 2,000 years ago, and understand much more than if we just have the English translation. So I wish you God's blessing as you do your homework.